All right, all right.
You're.
We got June in the house. Are you from Pomona, my friend?
I mean, I reside in Pomona. I'm a Pomona resident, but I'm originally from Anchorage, Alaska.
Ooh,
Yes, sir.
nice, nice. That's how's it? How do you feel about the difference between Southern California and Alaska?
um, Southern California and East Anchorage ain't that big. It's not. I mean, the only difference is the snow, man.
The
A
snow?
lot of the same stuff still going on.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty rough, man. I mean, it's a beautiful city. I mean, a beautiful state, but at the same time, it's just like any city, you have inner city problems, and yeah, it's like it's more of just like a scenery change. Like the for the most part, the same activities are still going on though.
When did you move to LA? I mean, to Southern California.
I moved to SoCal in like I first moved to California in 2007, and I moved in with my dad. He was living in Central California, like what up Porterville. Um, was living out there and then finished high school and wound up moving to Ventura. Lived out in Ventura and Oxnard for from 2009 to 2012. And then yeah, when I graduated from Ventura Community College, I transferred to Cal Poly Pomona. And that's like it's crazy because I was living in Upland, but attending Cal Poly Pomona. I didn't actually move to Pomona until after I graduated.
Mm. It's a lot of history right there. A lot of really good musicians come out of that little area right there, and
Yeah.
yeah, man, that's dope, man. So you've kind of seen it all, man. Tell me more about you. Like, where are your parents from, or how did tell me something about like your parents and where you come from, and besides,
Right, right.
what you just said right now.
Yeah, well, my mom is from Indiana. She's from Indianapolis, and like her dad was like a preacher, but before he was a preacher, he used to play like with guitar with Wes Montgomery and stuff. He was like
Whoa,
a gigging jazz musician. So like that's like the music. I mean, that kind of like started the music thing on my mom's side because my mom like played flute, like was a soprano. She's a what you call a stratosphere soprano. Like she can hit those crazy notes that like just an average soprano can't really hit. And like she was like further down the line, she was my first music teacher because she was when we were living in Alaska, she was the youth choir band or the youth choir director. So like that's kind of like where I get the music from on her side. And then on my dad's side, my dad's from Carson, California, but he grew up in Maryland. Like he was born in Carson. I think he moved to Maryland like probably around like age 10 or 11. And so like he's got like those West Coast upbringing, but like grew up on the East Coast, so he kind of got like the best of both worlds. And he was also like he played drums, played sax, like he sings as well, and I feel like that all that kind of just trickled down. Like
nice.
basically, yeah, where they're from too. Like I feel like I had a lot to play with it too.
Well, that's dope, man. So you play keys? You play any other instruments? Because I know that on the performance we're about to see right now, you represented with like some rhymes, and then you play like a beat set. But do you play any instruments yourself?
Yeah, I play. My first instrument was alto sax. So I
Yeah,
started with alto sax.
me too. Me too.
Yeah, hell yeah, sax gang. And then eventually, like, I switched to percussion. I think it was like seventh or eighth grade. I was pretty good at sax. I was like second or third chair, and I just all my homies played percussion. So it was like we had to sit separately, and like
Right.
we'd be making jokes across the room, and then it was like it got to a point where there was like they were low on percussion, and so I talked to the teacher and was like, "Yo, like I really want to switch. Like, is this a possibility?" And that's kind of it was just hit the ground running from there.
That's a crazy, bro. Because I literally sold. Well, I turned in my saxophone for like a conga set.
That's crazy, yo. That's legit me. Like I
I
actually
wanted.
still I
I
still
want.
have my sax though.
I wanted to go to like, you know, Venice Beach and just play congas and shit.
Hell yeah, dude, I've done it, man. I've done my share of busking, playing with, you know, Word Sauce, playing with Dope by Design, two different hip hop bands that I play with.
Right, right.
Definitely done my fair share of busking, you know, getting down and dirty on Venice, you know what I'm saying?
What dope, dope. So question, what was the thing that inspired you to be a part of the hip hop community? Like what, like one moment that you said like, man, I want to do that. Like, can you tell me that just quick?
Um, dude, I think it's been like since, you know, like almost since birth, man. Like, you know, my mom was playing rap, you know, when I was in her stomach, or, you know, she was riding with my dad and he was playing, you know, G Funk or whatever. And then fast forward 3 years later, like I'm 3 years old riding shotgun with my dad, and like, you know, Ain't No Fun is playing. Ain't no fun if the homies can't get none. And like I could barely talk, but I'm singing the melody, the doo, doo,
Yeah.
like, so
Well, I
like
mean,
I knew,
that's P Funk right there, though.
yeah,
That's
man,
George Clinton, right?
bruh, Funkadelic, man. You already know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean,
Free your mind and your ass will follow.
there it is. I mean, you know, don't understand that George Clinton is like the like so much of the hip hop community sample of George Clinton,
For
and
real though.
like you know, but you just listen to George Clinton. Once you learn hip hop and then you go back to George Clinton and you dig George Clinton, you could tell where like a lot of people got their styles from. You know what I mean? Even
Yeah.
like titles of albums and everything, and like
Right, right. And
you
just even album
know,
artwork, like the
yeah,
quirky stuff, like they had some crazy stuff going on. Like that's another thing, like as a kid I was doing, like, you know, I'd sneak into my dad's records and, you know, I'd never play them because that was, you know, a no, but I would read the Funkadelic covers like comic books, because that's what they were. Essentially,
mm-hmm.
they had all kinds of shit going on. And I'm like 4 or 5 years old looking at Aqua Booty Motor Affair, like
Hell yeah,
Awkward Motor Booty Affair, whatever it is. It's like crazy stuff. But it's like, it really trips me out. Like anytime talking about Funkadelic and just like kind of being a West Coast artist, it's crazy. Like uh the West Coast sound, if you will, low key came from Ohio, which is
right.
crazy to think about.
The
You know,
true Ohio
because
players.
yeah, man, you like look at Bone Thugs, like being back in the day, you might have looked at Bone Thugs and like, oh, they're trying to be West Coast, they're trying to be this. But it's like Bone Thugs is from Ohio. They
Right,
staying true to their roots, low key.
right, right.
But yeah, like I just think that it's a trip, you know, how sounds get adopted, and
Well,
culture moves and stuff.
I mean, I don't know. There's like this. There's this like urban legend that like Easy E and like Ice Cube would go to like Project Blowed and The Good Life, you know,
Hmm.
and like Jock Freestyle Fellowship, right? And like and and that you know Easy was trying to sign Freestyle Fellowship, and I guess they fell through, and then they got Bone Thugs and Harmony after that, and like
Yeah.
so like I had like people used to come up with rhymes, and like actually a group called Antibiotics came up with the rhyme where it was like, you know, I used to like Bone Thugs and Harmony when they were called Freestyle Fellowship or some shit like that. But then you
That's
realize,
cold.
but when you find out really though, like they were already doing their own thing, and it wasn't really like
Right.
it wasn't really like biting. They were just doing their own thing, you know.
Yeah, it was just like a timing thing, you
Eh,
know. And
exactly.
it's because Easy E knew he was about to check out. So I
Yeah.
feel like he was, he literally signed them niggas on his deathbed. Like
Right.
that shit in the movie, like that shit was real. Like the NWA movie, this
Right.
nigga signed Bone Thugs. That was like one of the last things he did. And like look at how big they became, like their career, like, they owe this nigga the world.
Man, classics,
Hmm.
classics, classics. But yeah, man. So I mean, the funk. I noticed that I mean I was listening to your B set, and like you played some like really dope beats. You could see that you had some like jazz influence and some funk
Hmm.
influence, but then you spit some rhymes. You know what I mean? Have you always been an MC, or is this more of like something that you just kind of kicked in the beginning, or what?
I've always considered myself a producer first, because like I don't know, just like I've been buying beat machines and like trying to figure out like production since I was like 9, 10 years old, like stealing my mom's little tape recorder from a choir rehearsal and stuff, and using that to just like I play like beat ideas on the keyboard and didn't really have a way to record them, so I literally just record them straight to tape, so I could, hopefully like put it into a box like a Fruity Loops or something later down the road. And it's like, yeah, I definitely like I started writing at 12, like learning form and whatnot, learn how to write like a 16 when I was like 12. But the producing kind of came around the same time too. I was like 2002, I was 12, and I saved up my little money and gave my mom's $50 so she could let me use her credit card and buy the little cheapest version of Fruity Loops.
Dope.
FL, it was, yeah, this is before they called it FL Studio.
That's dope, man. So, word, man. Well, I'm glad I got to meet you, man. Personally, we gotta come and hang out. I mean, once this pandemic shit is completely over, we gotta kick it. Come and bless us at the studio. Maybe work on some shit,
Yeah. Yeah,
But
we met before. It's been a minute.
no, I know we met, but we gotta like come and hang.
Yeah, we got a link. Yeah, we definitely got to reconnect.
And so we got my man June here. He ripped a dope ass rhyme, and then after ripping the rhyme, he jumps on the beat machine and rips it. You're gonna check it out right now. Come on, give him a little like recap of what you did, and lead him off to your performance. But first, tell them where they can find you.
Okay, it's June, aka Skinny Black, man. You can find me on IG at June_Skinny Black, BLAK, no C. And SoundCloud is just soundcloud.com/justjune, JUNE. And yeah, pretty much any music I post, or any music I release, I post it on Instagram. You can also it's a little harder to find me on Spotify and iTunes and stuff, because like there's like 1,000,001 Junes, but like if you come and you go to my IG and then click the link tree in my bio, it's got the links to everything from Apple Music to Spotify to SoundCloud, YouTube, whatever. And then yeah, I hope y'all enjoy the performance. I just, I lace y'all with a little acapella real quick, because like me, like, MCing and production is like 1-on-1 with me. So I wanted to be able to do both. And I think I was the first to do it too. So that was cool as well. Like the first person to be able to break that barrier down. So, I'm just spit a little acapella and dropped a few beats that y'all may have heard. Some were new, most were already released. And then yeah, man, I hope y'all vibe with it.
Skinny Black, Just June, find him.
Yo, shout out. Yo, my bad. I just want to say, like, thank y'all, man. Shout out Water the Plants for the look, like the performance. Yeah, man, I really appreciate what y'all are doing, and like I appreciate y'all. Shout out to homie Miyagi. Yeah, shout out you, shout out Vic, and yeah, man, I appreciate y'all. H2O the Plants.
Yo, Skinny Black, Just June, check him out. Check it out right here. This performance right now. Let's go.
Let's get it.